Start over. All right, back. I'm back. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Let's see who makes it back. The coffee is ready. And it's a dark one. Ooh. Hot. Hot, hot, hot. I don't know where I got cut off there. I saw it buffering, but I thought it came back. So we'll give it a minute. See if people find the stream again. But yeah, I saw your comments there, Mr. Osgood. Those links, or not links, but contacts for journalists. Joe Biskuping, that's a question I had for Reluctant Prophet, who popped in momentarily. Has anybody I believe he has been notified previously. So I didn't follow up with that. I did have his email at one point. I was going to send him a message last year or at some point. But I think enough people have already reached out to him in Arizona. If they're not picking up the story, I don't know why. It seems this kind of government accountability would fit right within their kind of programming there. And then the other one, well, there was one that AE something. I didn't reach out to that one. But then Shield of Shame, I found the YouTube channel. I didn't look if there was a website, but very small viewership again. Small audience. Some of the videos I browsed, like the thumbnails, they were getting 1,000 to 5,000 views. And I want, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of eyeballs on the Wayne Myers situation. So I didn't see saving the shield as kind of a good route to blast this message out. But thanks for the leads, but what I've got to get off my ass and do is contact a buddy of mine who had a situation of his own, completely unrelated matter, but it did involve some legal shenanigans. And he was in contact with a journalist that does this kind of accountability and kind of public watchdog, government watchdog kind of stuff, legal watchdog, public interest stories. And he's kind of does work cross borders. So he's either located in Vancouver and Washington State, but he has connection. Like he's connected. Where they were actually going to do a documentary style, like a Nightline or something, or 60 Minutes. Not on 60 Minutes, but that kind of show or interview. Because a close personal friend of mine has this crazy story. And just all the controversy that was involved with that. That sound you hear in the background is a crop duster just tweaking out hard today. One of the neighbors does some crop dusting. And he's at it again. But yeah, I've asked my buddy in the past to put me in contact with this proper journalist that has like a production crew and editors and camera people and sound people and, you know, like a professional, not a YouTuber. I guess YouTubers can be professional, but it's like what we don't need at this point is more of Lane Meyer's current audience to view more Lane Meyer's content. It's people that are unfamiliar with the situation saying, "Get the fuck! What's up with this? How is this even possible? How is a guy being held without bond for YouTubing? That doesn't make it, like, it is 2026 after all." So the lawfare that's being waged under the guise of, you know, holding YouTubers and content creators liable for saying stuff on YouTube, like, it's redonkulous. All right, Dad, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I don't have any Lane updates myself. So we had a bit of a crew that was building here, and then I guess my previous stream just got zapped or something. No warning. My apologies. But we're back. We're back. So we'll just give it a minute or two, see if people find this shit show again. But I don't know where I got cut off on the last stream, so I was kind of rambling about a few things already. The question was, well, maybe I'm reaching my data limit. I don't know. The question was, did anybody save the tweak stream from Amanda that was broadcast on DirectD's channel yesterday? Anybody? Bueller? A tweaker wants to know. So Aiden is back. What a week. Everyone has been tweaking out, and not good wholesome tweaks either. Agreed. Bad tweaks. Yeah, real bad tweaks. So just at about the time I think the last stream was cut off, Reluctant Prophet had popped in, retracted his message just as I was saying hi. So my question for him is, kind of being near to the Lane Meyers situation geographically, is there any news? Because I don't have any breaking news on Lane. My appeal on Thursday, I believe, I shot a video on Thursday. I don't think it uploaded until Friday. It's up now. It's got a handful of views, inviting people to put me in contact with possible media sources that could blast out Lane Meyer's story to a wider audience. But the Amanda stream did not get saved. We just checked on the DirectD channel. It was taken down. It was met with some mixed reviews. I watched it for about 2 minutes, maybe 3, maybe 4, and it's like, oh, this is tweaky. Again, watching it without the Badger enhancement through that filtering process, it's just annoying. You watch the whole thing. Oh my goodness. Well, you're doing the Lord's work there. I couldn't. I guess you're a bigger man than me. Like, holy smokes. Props to Aiden for watching the whole thing. I guess, is there anything to report on that? It sounds like the Badger himself was interested in that, so he watched a little bit, possibly the same portion that I caught. The Desert Gnome had an upload. They were doing the DirectD telethon. Was that yesterday as well? She was talking more about her teeth and dental work that was done, and a lot of, yeah, undignified, bad tweaks going on there. You watched it 2 times. Oh, you watched it in 2x. What? There was lots of dropping tweaks, even timestamped some parts to clip, but then got busy. Oh, dang. Maybe cue the audit. Saved it. I don't. Ryder must have saved it. I'm sure Ryder saved it. Todd, I don't know if Todd saved it. Was Todd talking about it at all? I mean, it was occurring at the same time that Todd had been tweaking out for 10 hours yesterday. I had checked in with Todd's stream at various points throughout the day for a minute or two or three or four at a time, and he's just going on about the Orthodox Church malarkey. I don't even know. I don't even know what you call it. It's just undignified tweaks. But my prediction is Todd is going to join the Orthodox Church at some point. Left a message in Michael Eline's chat to get a hold of you, or Illuminate the Dark. Again, rather small content creators. Like Eline is an advocate for Lane already. So it's like I don't have anything to add to what some of these creators are already saying. I want to get Lane's story to an audience that has never heard about what's happening to Lane, whether it be on network news or local news or like a YouTuber with kind of lackluster size audience, but someone that Lane hasn't trash talked and that would actually be willing to help Lane. It's like we need Asmongold or somebody or PewDiePie. That's what I'm. Does anybody have PewDiePie's number? I should email PewDiePie. Yeah. PewDiePie and I are colleagues, really, if you look at it that way. Yeah, I haven't followed Eline in forever, so I don't know what he's talking about as of late. I don't know that Michael Eline himself is the best communicator of what's happening to Lane. What I'm looking for is somebody to pick up Lane's story, get it straight from Lane, and then distill it to its most important parts. Because for those of you familiar with Lane Walk the Line Myers, like he tends to ramble and drift and wander all over the place in the telling of the story. And to someone who's new to his situation, like it's hard to follow all the rabbit trails and you know, the little bunny trails that his story meanders through. So something that can take an interview, edit it down to get the most concise version of Lane did this, the government did that, Lane ended up in court, this was the response, this is how he behaved on probation, this is how the prosecutor fucked him yet again, this is what the courts did, this is, you know, just boom, 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 line by line. Just the facts, man. Not all the, well, you know, the details of, you know, well, there's a Discord server that's trying to track, like, okay, that's an important detail, but it's not pertinent to people understanding, you know, what happened, and just an overreaction by the prosecutor. So Illuminate the Dark, again, very small, and it's not to diss any of these creators, but we need like a big voice to pick this up. GS was reviewing something I didn't care about. Yeah, I mean, at a point, Secret Scal got up there and said, "You guys still talking about this stupid panel you did 5 days ago?" And for once, I had to agree with her. It was like nobody cares about what you think about Orthodox Christians, because you're gonna convert to Orthodox Christianity in the near future. I would say possibly by the end of this year. If he keeps wandering around in that cesspool that is kind of the Christian controversial drama genre, if you will, just Christians fighting against Christians, or quote unquote alleged Christians fighting alleged Christians, you're gonna end up finding yourself right in the water getting baptized by the Catholic, not the Catholic, the Orthodox Church. So I suspect yeah, the Greek Orthodox branch, but very near future, Todd Bryant will be saying the creed or doing the sacraments or bowing down to the idols there. I've just seen it too many times, so it's happened. Or if Todd really wanted to get blood sporty with the whole Christian thing, he should just join the Reformed branch. You know, the what are they called? The Calvinists. He would have fun with the Calvinists, like as a Calvinist. So I think he'll drift to Orthodoxy before Calvinism. But watching Calvinists fight with other Protestants online, like it's tweaky, it's blood sporty, not educational, somewhat fun, but it's just, I don't know, people taking out their aggression when they should buy a pair of skates and a hockey stick and settle it on the ice. Orthodontic, yeah, he'll join the orthodontic church. Secret finally got something right. Well, she was calling him out, but it's sort of like it's none of her business. But I had to agree with her. It's like, what? No, she was pointing it out, but she had to point it out like 17 times, as she always does. And it's like, we get the point. You've made your point. Do you have anything else to say? The answer is no. But this morning, Finkel, so sorry to change topics on you so quickly. As Aiden had pointed out earlier, this week has been mostly bad tweaks, but many of them. It's been quantity over quality, yeah. The Direct D post for his bail is mostly comment festering the hypocrisy in his tweaks. It's awesome. I did look up, let's see if it's on this phone. It might be on this phone. So I know you're going to read this in reverse, but that's the Apache County Sheriff's Office. Where is he? Where's our boy? There, right here. This guy right here. Let's click on him. So he's got his booking status here. The bonds are still there, so it's still 108,500 in bonds. But I think that the actual charges, if you go to the court website, it's been reduced to 1 felony and 1 misdemeanor. So maybe the bond information hasn't been updated. Let's just refresh this and see. Let's see. No, those bond amounts are still there, so it still looks like $108,000. And his GoFundMe, well, let's see where his GoFundMe is at. Help Chris Direct D Ruff get out. Let's refresh this, see where we're at. So there's our guy. We're looking for for 14,000 to raise, and after what, 4 or 5 days, we've got 345 bucks. So you can do it. You can do it, Chris. Allegedly, there's a couple of grand been raised between PayPal and Cash App, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Day 4 at Tweaker Ranch for Jim Carrey. Yeah, she did a stream yesterday that was tweaked out as fuck. It doesn't seem like she's interested in being the goat rancher herself. So she might just up and leave. But yeah, they were doing this telethon, so we're at 345 bucks on the Give Send Go. If you want to contribute to Christopher Dane Ruff's bail bond posting efforts, I encourage you not to. But yeah, she may just say, what the hell is keeping me? I mean, it's a place to live. But it doesn't seem like she's too excited to be the one cleaning the chicken coop and whatnot. So. Freeman Press posted the charging document. Ruff has applied for bond reduction and he's getting a public defender. I assume Desert Jim Carrey is going to scram. Yeah, it might take some time. As of August 1st, 2026, it doesn't seem like anybody's stepping forward. I'm looking at you, JJ Scarborough, to step up and post bail for Ruff. So he might have to let the public defender just handle his shit. And yeah, a month for Desert Gnome Fire Marshal Bill to just carry on the daily grind of desert goat ranching life. Yeah, she could be out. So we're doing a forecasting prediction stream here. So I'm predicting Todd will join the Greek Orthodox Church before the end of the year, if he keeps, locking antlers with the Orthodox Christians online. Desert Jim Carrey, give she a month to figure it's not worth it and move on. I predict Chris Ryder will not be in jail. Brandon F. Mitchell might be in jail, but I don't know what he's done. He probably didn't even do anything. Welcome in. Well, welcome in, Brandon. Good to see you. What else? Finkel won't be going to jail. William Barthel. Now there's another cat, or there's another rabbit that I believe has court on Monday, August 3rd. So this morning I was watching Shadow Finkel, posted a video reacting to Secret and Rabbit reacting to Bao interviewing Secret. Again, these restreams of restreams of reviews of restreams are hard to follow because you don't know who's talking in the past versus who's talking live and what they're responding to. But it seemed like there was a damage control response to something Q the Audit posted last week or in the last several days, and that was a live stream Bao had done with Secret Savage Catfish. Was that 2025? I can't even remember when that, or maybe early 2026. I myself have not gone to look at what Q the Audit posted. Ruff and Rabbit have court on the same day, so yeah, the Kaiser crew will have two uh, events to deal with on the same day, I suppose. So that could be interesting. So it's like things are the swirl is starting to form into a whirlpool where these different currents and eddies are starting to collide, coalesce, and form into somewhat of a shitstorm there. So I didn't think Ruff was gonna go down, but this it's getting the swirl is getting it's gaining momentum. Yeah. It's an unsatisfying resolution to what was going to be a magnificent crash out, but we'll take it. We'll, I guess, do we have a choice at this point? I still haven't got to watch the video Q posted. It's in my watch. It's something we would have seen live, so it's just I haven't seen Q the Audit here in a while. I'd be curious what prompted her to stick that up on the internet. I mean, good for her. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Is uh, is my reaction? Is like it was kind of just this unexpected appearance. Of, oh, there's Savage on Bow's stream, spilling the beans, so to speak. So yeah, what Steve Nolan Finkel posted this morning was a video where he was responding to the damage control that Rabbit and Savage were attempting to do. That must have been very recent. I don't know who's that was. That on Secret's channel? It's one of those days when nothing goes to plan. Oh, I hear you, bro. Uh, it's one of those days. It's one of those decades where nothing goes to plan, but sometimes you just roll with it. The prosecutor is already bringing up the enhancements on the punishment in those charging docs for Ruff. Well, yeah, can you blame them? So yeah, I've just done a tiny bit of legwork. As far as I know, the bond is still up above 100 grand. The charges have been reduced, but there could be enhancements as far as what he's being taken to task for. He's got to answer for his felonious tweaks. And of course, we do fester that fester. But it kind of occurred to me, so as I was listening to Finkel this morning, is what a lot of what we're witnessing with that whole Kaiser crowd. Oh, Justin's back. Welcome, welcome. Who's streaming me? That ladyboy Bow. So that damage control, and this seems to have been Secret's role or function all along, is to be a spellcaster. What we're watching is wizards casting spells, and it's not just in this little situation. This is going on all across the internet, and it's making the internet, especially the streamerverse, the panelverse, it's difficult to watch because you got these wizards casting these spells using words in ways that they're not meant to be used. An example, well, I'll give you two examples. So if you were watching the Todd stream where he went on AVG's panel, I believe it was Sunday night, Sunday evening he did that. It could have been Monday. At one point that one scout, DSD, I think is their handle, and Cypher were on there. And DSD kind of slipped out that Todd was saying some defamatory comments towards her as far as copyright striking channels. And she was trying to set the record straight. And Todd, again, double, triple, quadruple down. It's like, well, I'm in fear of my channel, and you're this tweaky copyright striker, stiff-necked. It's stiff-necked, not stiff-necked. Scal. Well, he didn't use the word scal. You're this stiff-necked demon, and now you're accusing me of defamation. And so, okay, Todd's a little trigger happy over legal litigation and legal battles that he may have to face, as we've seen with what William J. Bartell has recently attempted on him. But it's like Todd is not willing to communicate. DSD, in my opinion, did not literally mean I'm going to take what you're saying as defamation and sue you, prepare a lawsuit against you for defamation. Defamation is a legal term. Maybe she could have said it better by saying what you're saying is inflammatory rather than defamatory, because Todd was being inflammatory. He was trying to stir up something and get the flames to burn higher. But at a certain point, he was unable to communicate because it turned into, well, now I've got a legal battle on my hands and I'm treating you as a legal adversary, when I don't think that was the intent that DSD was trying to communicate to him originally. I can say what you're saying is rather defamatory, and not make it a legal threat. If someone said you're a tweaker with funny hair, it's like, okay, that's all true, but that may harm my reputation. But it's not. If I say, well, that's rather defamatory of you to say, that's not threatening you with legal action. Where Todd took it in that way, or wanted his audience to take it that way, and AVG's audience to take it that way, and communication completely broke down. That's why I'm not interested in communicating in Todd's chats or with Todd, or let alone even turning this channel into a panel channel. The panel channel with Brent the Tweaker. Because we've got wizards casting spells, and so at that point Todd was a spellcaster. He was taking defamatory out of its intended use from DSD, in my opinion, and creating his own narrative, causing people to believe in their minds that something was happening, that he was bringing about a new reality to the situation that wasn't there previously. The second example of wizards casting spells, how many times has Secret Scal been asked, so you worked for Savage Saints? And she constantly denies, I have never worked for the Savage Saints. I'm a volunteer. And so she's casting spells. I mean, we could look up the definition of work. I've got a bachelor's of science in some branch. I think it's microchemistry, microbiology, let's say. But I've taken chemistry, biology, physics, all these kind of university level courses. And in physics, the definition for work is a force applied over a distance. It's a formula. W equals F force times D, distance. So it's a force applied over a distance. in the strictest sense of the definition of work, unless you're exerting a force over a distance, you're not doing work. So if you're not using, if I wanted to cast a spell and say, well, physically, I'm not working, but you're using your brain to work, well, that's not technically work. And she said, I don't work for I've never worked for the Savage Saints. I've never been employed by the again, using IRS, tax code definitions for something that in plain language means you've provided some service, some form of labor, some role that you fulfill as a either administrative functionary with the Savage Saints. You can't deny that you've worked in the plain sense of the word. And so it's sort of one of these wizard I gotcha moments, like there's no, these are not the drones you're looking for. It's like, I've never worked for the Savage, well, I've never worked for the Savage Saints, but I've never applied a force over distance for the Savage Saints. So it's like taking the plain meaning of words that everybody seems to understand, twisting it, creating a different narratives. Like I'm not connected to the Savage Saints in that capacity. I was only ever a volunteer. When she's clearly working for JJ's benefit and William J. Barthel's benefit as we speak. She's employed as a wizard. Now, there's no official functional designation for wizard with the IRS. So it's like on your tax forms, the IRS isn't expecting to say, well, I earned this amount of money as a wizard, a self-employed wizard. But that's what she's doing. She's spell casting. Rabbit, William J. Barthel, spell casting. Ryder, spell casting. We're all guilty of it to some degree, but that's what we're seeing is a lot of very unskilled wizards attempting to cast spells. And for someone like me and a lot of who I think is watching here, yeah, Torque is spinning your wheels, which I tend to do. Torque involves force applied at angles, typically rotational. But Scal said she's gonna file bankruptcy and put her house up for bail. Scal wants to move from. That's Amanda you're talking about? Like Secret's not going to do that for DirectD, is she? The Hawaii Scal. The Hawaii Scal is moving to the desert. Yeah, I kind of caught that suggestion that was happening. But it's like you got these meffed up. Like, is it tweak wizardry or like maybe I'm just seeing it with, like, I could be wrong. I could be thinking I'm seeing it with clarity when really William J. Barthel had nothing to do with the death of Andrea Matthews. Maybe it went down exactly as he said. But it seems that in particular Courtney, whether it's McLaughlin or it's kind of irrelevant, but her role, the function that she's currently employed at is functionally a wizard for the Kaiser camp, which trickles down to JJ Scarborough through to DirectD to like Christopher Ruff and William J. Barthel. What's the penalty for felonious aggravated wizardry? I don't know. But, um, she said rough is her number one priority, and she has a kid. The Savage Saint stuff is just wow. Scal said rough is her happy ending. Yeah, well, we've kind of seen how the domestic side of things go with these ladies that end up at the Dookie Ranch. I would advise her just maybe keep your distance until until maybe have a clearer, less meffed up perspective of what's happening. It seemed not too long ago some nomadic drifter type with a child and a pull behind travel trailer and some various pets ended up tangling with Christopher Ruff, and there wasn't a happy ending. So I mean, just maybe open your eyes, Scal. Torque the Wood. Ah, yeah. I remember seeing that. I think that was a second year physics class. Yeah, I remember the morning wood in that lecture. Yeah, that was a tough exam question, I'll tell you. But that's kind of just wanted to get out here and kind of give my perspective. Is we've seen this wizardry. It really, to give some background, like Owen Benjamin, who I followed years ago, in a sense was spilling the beans on some of this wizardry, but he partakes in it himself. And there's lots of stuff that Owen Benjamin actually says that I agree with. But when the spell casting starts taking place, that's when the potential for grifting comes in. And as much as I like the message he has the ability, the vision he can cast, it's also drawing people into a grift that's beyond let's build something great, and it's more let's increase my empire. That's where I'm at. Like, I don't want to turn into an internet grifter because it would be rather easy if I set my mind to it. All I'm asking my audience is to buy me a coffee, cover my expenses. But it's like when you take the vision and you get a group of people that believe in the vision, and then you convert that into just enhancing your own personal lifestyle, which is what I've seen Owen do in the past. That's when you become a grifter. You're not a leader. You're not starting a movement. You're not an influencer. You're just a grifter. You got, like, there's a real fine line between personal gain and actually launching some grand vision. And so I don't think I've ever given Owen Benjamin $1. I think the most I ever contributed to Owen Benjamin's online activity is I was subscribed to his app, the Beartaria app. But the bears are essentially a big group of retards, in my opinion. And even getting back to earlier comments about Christians fighting with Christians over the interwebs, something I picked up years ago, I think it was in the Bible, is Jesus himself said, like, you'll know them by their fruits. You'll know a good tree brings forth good fruit. bad tree, bad fruit. And the fruit doesn't originate with the tree. The tree originates with the roots. And if a tree is forming bad fruit, like, you can't just cut the tree down. You gotta extract the whole root system so that that sucker doesn't come back up again. And with so many people, I just see bad fruit that I want nothing to do with. And Owen Benjamin is one of them. Like, how many in that community? I'm not leveling, my sights on Owen to stir up something, but just using him as an example. So many that were ride or die with Owen Benjamin and the Bears and the Beartarians. Like, they left with such drama and such venom and such vitriol and such strife. That's not the kind of fruit you want your community to produce. At least not any community I would want to produce. So some of it is personality, some of it is just, I don't know, clout. Some of it comes down to greed. It's again, the heart of man is capable of all kinds of evil. And it's not just money that becomes the root, but like with say Todd's, getting back to kind of our little tweaky section of the panel verse here, the tweaker verse. I don't see a ton of good fruit coming out of what Todd is doing online. Like, he's making as many enemies as he is friends, probably more enemies than friends. And that's not persecution at its core. It's just being a jackass dick online. And you're going to get what you get, The fruit of what Christopher Ruff is building. There's some things that Christopher Ruff is actually admirable. Building some dwelling, as humble or as grand, it's irrelevant. But to build something with your own hands on a piece of land, which may or may not even be controlled and owned by you in your name, it may be owned by some sketch leasing company or pay here, buy here land agreement, who knows? It's irrelevant. Working with animals, seeing the fruit of your labor, but the fruit of his community, it's just a toxic pile of diapers. It's virtually a mountain of shitty diapers at this point. So even if I agree with Chris Ruff about, say, this one point of what he believes, what his vision is for his life, there's so much that is just rotten fruit everywhere, scattered about. So why would Amanda take a look at that, be a fruit inspector, and Direct D is definitely fruity, but seeing the fruit of what goes on with his relationships, the custody battle that's going on with Adriana, it seems that I looked that up, I think it's dismissed, actually. I don't know what that means, but it seems like some of that civil matter with Adriana has recently been dismissed by the court. What that means exactly, I don't know. So maybe Ruff's was petitioning for custody and that has been dismissed. I'm not sure. I don't know if he was the defendant or I think he was the respondent in that. So I'm actually glad I wasn't able to restream any of those tweaks. I would have ruined so many things. I'm glad you didn't restream it because stuff is getting dark. I'm gonna sit back and watch mode. Yeah, like, participating is kind of giving the wizard spells too much access to your energy at this point. And the energy is getting darker and darker, in my humble opinion. So yeah, it's kind of just just let the chips fall where they may. Let the meths fall. The meths don't fall far from the tree, right? And I love how unaware these gals are who is watching Tweakers D's stream. Yeah, with a channel of 316,000 subs, and he's raised $345, and Gaines charges I mean, fill in your comparison there. He gets charges more often than we get loads of gravel here at this build site. Ruff could have made a good thing of that, but squandered it by being a shitty person. It's not dismissed at all, last I checked. Well, I had the Arizona courts website. The thing, well, maybe I still got it here. Okay, so this is the current case. Well, it's hard to read, but maybe it'll focus. But it's here, and so this is all that's happened on the docket. So there's a charging document, an appearance, and a reconsideration. That's all that's happened with these two charges here. These two charges are right here. I gotta cut my fingernails. But it was unlawful and knowingly direct lewd electronic comments, communication. That's the misdemeanor, and the felony is stalking, emotional distress, or fear. So the fear of death. Oh, maybe that could be part of it, but it seems like they've reduced a couple of charges into one charges, which is a felony, and the others have been reduced to unlawfully directing lewd electronic communication. And that's on the Arizona Judicial Branch. So if we go back to maybe let's see, there must be something I can click on just to get back to Chris Ruff. Maybe not. Where is it? It's the case. Just give me a second. I don't want to have to. I guess if I got to read. Yeah, I'm gonna have to submit it again. Okay, done. Let's see. Do a captcha. I am not a robot. Oh no. Apache. Oh no, 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 no. No, that's not what I want. Oh, I can't find it now. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. We can find this. No, you're gonna have to go back another page. Let's go back, 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 back. Back one more. Go back. I'm gonna go back to the main page here. Okay. Go right to the homepage. Screw this. I was looking up a few things on our old buddy Christopher Dane Ruff. Arizona courts. Search. Search. Search cases. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. So here we go. Try this. No, I can't. I forget how I found it yesterday. But yeah, the civil matter between Ruff and Adriana. I saw at as of July 30th, there was a dismissal of some sort. For whatever reason, I can't find it right now on Arizona. And for some reason, I gotta take a piss. Could be too much tweaker coffee. So just give me a second here. Yeah, yesterday I found all this stuff like within a minute. I'm gonna check one more time. Arizona courts. I'll just do search court records. That might be it. Search court records. Oh, here we go. Case search. Right in the frickin' top toolbar. All right. Christopher Ruff. Search. Did I type it wrong? Oh. There we go. Let's see. Okay, I think it's bringing it up. So here's all the the Arizona court actions against Christopher, or involving Christopher Ruff. So the one we're looking for is, I think, the Yavapai. So this was filed January 1st. Here's the case number in reverse. This was filed on the 15th of January of this year. And so Ilana Adriana Lopez Loreto is the petitioner. Christopher Dane Ruff is the respondent. On July 14th, the order was dismissed without prejudice. There's an order vacating. There's order of show cause and order to appear. The order to show cause was 7/28. That was a petition of the court, and the order to appear was July 30th. So just a couple of days ago. That's what I'm believing is the latest on the Adriana civil matter there. In regarding the paternity suit. And it's domestic. Yeah. And this was filed, the filing of this petition was, or the petitioner filed on January 15th. And then there was all kinds of things that happened in the court. Petitions, summons, motions, potions, spell casting, orders, all that good stuff. So what the practical results are in that paternity case, it's unclear. I can't really read what these, you can't click on any of these orders or what have you. So anybody still here? Yeah, looking this shit up is easier on desktop. The custody case is still 100% on. So yeah, it's a bunch of tweaky court shit going on there. The Desert Yeti charges, yeah, those are the Apache County, which I looked up on the same court record. The Adriana case, last entry was, 7:30. Top chat? Why did I go back to top chat? I must have clicked something. Please save that stream. Amanda is live. Meow, giving updates. Oh, okay. Somebody please save that stream. Order to appear. Well, it's like sometimes you can get the court's decisions through a hyperlink. Some of them you have to pay money for these documents. I don't care about Chris Ruff enough to send money to a court in Arizona to find out what's going on, but by the court records we can kind of deduce what's happening. But I'm assuming the motion to appear was for Christopher Ruff to appear. But he was in jail on July 30th. So that, I don't know when the order to appear is telling him to appear. Don't really care, but the court's pattern of behavior, it's more like Ruff's pattern of behavior is just catching up to him. I'm going to move a little bit more into the shade here. Do this without spilling anything. Uneven ground here. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. But it's it's kind of these tweakers were begging for the lawfare, and now they're getting what they asked for. I think that's, if there's any kind of karma or justice, is these big talking YouTube lawyer types like Ruff. And I mean, is William Barthel actually kind of like learning disabled or something? I saw that affidavit of fact with the Todd's TPO. The guy's not all there, is he? Like, just from a mental capacity standpoint? Or maybe he's just a sloppy narcissist manipulator type that thinks he's a skilled wizard, but his spell casting is really, his spell casting game is quite weak. Ruff's phone knows about his battery. Yeah, exactly. I bet money Adriana will win that custody case. Courts are messed up, but there's no, yeah. I mean, you would, this is where we trip up. You'd think the courts would have some common sense, but at this point, I'm in agreement with you, Aiden, that no court in their right mind would let any child anywhere near Christopher Ruff for any reason, let alone his own children. It just seems like he creates an unsafe environment for any living organism. I mean, it's an unsafe situation for your average electronic device as well. It might end up his rectum. But yeah, get wrecked, Tweaker. The nasty one has come for you. We didn't necessarily know it was going to look like this, but this is what it looks like. So, good job. Good job. Slow clap for Chris Ruff. You show them courts what DirectD is all about. Can't wait to hear your next round of spell casting. Fucking rookie noob wizard. And this is where I fall. Like, I don't want to become a wizard casting spells. I'm trying to speak as plainly, without an agenda, seeking possibly some justice, trying to inject from what I believe to be truth, if there is such thing as objective truth. Because it'd be easy to just get up here and start casting spells. And it seems like all of DirectD's audience, all of the Savage Saints supporters, anybody tuning into Secret Scal that's a supporter of that side, they're all fallen victim, or they're under the spell. And to some degree, a lot of Todd's people are under a spell of sorts as well. Todd's not as malicious in that he's trying to cover up felonious tweak activity. Todd's just, in my opinion, seeking out places on the internet where he can stir up strife, drama, and get engagement to build his brand around spellcasting. And I don't really want what I'm doing to ever drift off into that territory. So yeah, the tweaks and the counter tweaks. That's where the old I tweaker your tweaker comes in. Fester your fester. But yeah, well, I guess Wasamatau is still sleeping. I'm still waiting for that script for the Netflix adaptation of this whole drama to be sent to my inbox. I have not yet seen that. But yeah, if anybody's got some hard drive space or some memory space, we've got a tweaker going on about moving from Hawaii to Arizona as we speak. Let's just see if we can find that tweak stream. Is that on DirectD's channel? Let's see what we get. See what we can come up with here. See what we can find. Oh yeah, yeah. There, tweaking away. Let's turn this up. 125 people watching.
I have to deal with all of my own stuff as well. I have a 3-year-old son.
3-year-old son you want to bring to Dookie Ranch.
So
sounds like a great idea.
I'm surprised I'm even making it. I do have some coffee.
She's got coffee. I got coffee.
Been...
But I don't want you here if you're just looking for coffee. So we got Charger Milla.
So
is that Killa Milla? The real criminals are free and gloating, meow. Karma coming into their lives soon. Concerned citizen is tweaking out. Most people are incapable of looking past his rough exterior. I have first-hand experience with this character. I'll bet you do. Do you have first-hand experience with his phone boofing activity? But someone commented that on the various live streams or videos posted on DirectD's channel asking for support, he's getting called out for calling his supporters suckers, and he would sit back and laugh in times past. Because I don't give a fuck if you love me or hate me or otherwise. You're all a bunch of internet faggots. Okay. Oh, there we go. Reluctant Prophet's back. Good to see you, sir. It's been a while. The court fucked you dry, and I'm choosing to disengage. I just want to worship God and feel love before I die. Dealing with legal stuff doesn't allow for that. He ain't getting out. Well, that's good news. Does he expect to? I mean, let's see what the financial support he's raised. Up to this moment in time. Let's just refresh this, see how much is coming in the last. Oh, he's raised another 50 bucks. So he's up just shy of $400 to get Tweaker D out. So he's well on the way to that $14,000 goal. The fundraiser funds will be received by Amanda Gilroy. Does that name sound familiar? Anybody know an Amanda Gilroy? The fundraiser was created by YouTube family. Do you think you'd want even your online presence or identity associated with Chris Ruff's family? Like, I don't know, man. Tweakers be tweaking. Of course he truly believes he's done nothing wrong. I mean, he's already been tried in a court of public opinion. I guess it was just a matter of time before the Arizona courts got a hold of him. But yeah, this is weak spell casting at its best. So the courts, they're master spellcasters. And so for the likes of William J. Barthel or Christopher Dane Ruff or Savage Secret or Todd Bryant and Chris Ryder for that matter, like they're kind of low level wizards when it comes to the spellcraft. There's much better wizards out there that they maybe should have studied at the feet of the master before splurging out on the internet with their weak spell casting. So DirectD have scammed lots of people. Yeah, someone, was it in my stream yet from yesterday or whenever it was, someone reached out to SJVT to see if he would help and just got laughed at. Was that Tag or somebody did that? He needs 100K collateral, and that's his co-conspirator in his kidnapping and arrest. Yeah, like we're familiar with Amanda. I was just kind of asking that rhetorically. I was being a little bit facetious, but yeah, Amanda is currently live streaming in some kind of appeal to DirectD's audience to help her get from Hawaii to Arizona, because she just loves the view from Diaper Mountain. And so the shit show appears that it's going to continue. Like I guess we're starting season 9 here. His ex who robbed that guy with says she's putting up her house in Hawaii as collateral. Yeah, so it's like, all right, go for it. Let's see how that works out for you. I think there's going to be a nasty one coming for you if you do. If he gets out, he's going to need to go to court, and he's going to have to serve his time for Mesa. Like there's all kinds of quicksand that Chris Ruff finds himself in, and he's earned every bit of this kind of low-grade vitriol. Like we are taking somewhat of a victory lap here. Like if he somehow comes through all of this unscathed, I guess I'll have to retract my slow clap and give you a standing ovation. But it seems like you got yourself into one, and you're gonna need a lot of luck to get out with your reputation and your integrity maintained. Like, not that I think he had any integrity to begin with. You think he and Lane will be in prison together, to be honest? Yeah, that's a question I had for you, like, Mark. I don't know a lot about Lane's current situation other than how it relates to his past situations. But you being geographically near, I don't know. I know you're one of those forbidden persons that he's unable to contact. But I had reached out to my audience if anybody had someone I could contact with a large platform that could blast out Lane's story, because where we're at now is he's being held yet again without bond. And that seems like just the most blatant violation of any semblance of constitutional rights. So, like, has Biskuping been contacted, from somebody in the area, locally in Arizona, to get Lane's story? Like, is it Joe Biskuping or whatever his name is? Like, is he ignoring the story? Is he aware of the story? I would think people would have reached out by now. And so I'm just curious, with boots on the ground, somewhat closer to the actual events happening in the situation, if you are aware if any outlets are willing to pick up the story, because there was that what was her name, Massey, that got hauled out of that that city council meeting, and that became national headline news for First Amendment violation. And it's essentially an echo or it echoes Lane's situation in many ways. But she seemed to get immediate justice where Lane has got no bond. So, you know, like or hate Lane, one way or the other, it doesn't matter where you fall. It's like, is anybody in Arizona interested in talking about this other than a handful of tweaker YouTubers? Because those are the only ones I see carrying the story. Whether it's people that hate Lane, you know, the frauditor, anti-free speech crowd, or the Lane supporters, the shareholders, you know. The shareholders don't have much of a voice on YouTube at this point, and I want to sometimes change that. Sometimes you piss off more people than you can be defended for. The news media only picks it up if it serves there in the government. Yeah, I get that. But like, surely there must be somebody that can objectively look at this and say, Mr. Myers is being held without bond. Like, it's going on a month now that he's been in jail. He's had an appearance or two and an upcoming hearing. And like, are the voters, taxpayers, is the public okay with the way Lane is being handled? Like, are we gonna have to do a whole Martin Luther King, you know, education of the American people? Are we gonna have to replay Martin Luther King's speeches on our channels just over and over until people get it? But yeah, pissing off people, that's the way the system works. You know, you can anger the government machine to the point that nobody will pick up your calls. But it just seems to me there must be somebody out there that's willing to talk about this that could reach 1 million or more viewers, not the tens or hundreds or even thousands of viewers that we have in our audiences that routinely check in. You pissed off a lot of people. Agreed. But pissing off YouTubers, that's one thing. I'm not advocating for that. I'm not recommending people do that. I'm not recommending people follow the Lane Myers model for accessing justice within that statist system. But it just seems your average person on the street, if they knew what was happening to Lane and some of the whys and some of the actual facts of these cases, it would just seem like he's being held in a retaliatory fashion, vexatious litigation, like these things that the system shouldn't be allowing, but is somehow allowed or is somehow empowered and being perpetuated against a guy who really did nothing but leave an email, of a phone voice message, and tweaked out online on his YouTube channel on matters of public record. So yeah, pissing off people that could help him, not recommended, not a great strategy, but that shouldn't prevent other people from at least hearing the story. So that's kind of my point. So I was just curious if you had any breaking news. I don't have any breaking news updates on the Lane Myers situation. So maybe I figure, being in the Tucson area, you might know something that you could share, but don't feel you need to. But I was just curious if any developments were happening. Again, I made a video appealing to try to stir up something that might be able to get more eyeballs on the story. Because really, the legalities of Lane's situation are almost secondary at this point. It's what the government is doing. Logic, discernment rather than feelings. Yeah, it's like, is the public okay with feelings taking over the judicial and the legal and the court system, rather than the ability to protect, preserve, uphold people's rights according to the letter of the law. So yeah, there's a lot of problems within the system. There's activist judges. There's judges that are appearing to operate according to the law of feelings rather than the law as written. And that's part of Lane's battle. Like, he believes in the law inherently as written. And so, yeah, it's a battle for hearts and minds. Your dad said, yeah, that's your average boomer. That's them. But it seemed not too long ago, like you could tune into something like 60 Minutes or some of these shows where people would bring these public interest stories to the public, and people would be like, "Get the fuck? How is this happening?" Like, that's clearly somebody abusing power or using influence in a felonious, tweakerish way. And you'd put pressure on the people either in power or with influence just by telling the story of what's happening. You know, wasn't there that, don't you remember Aaron Brockovich? You know, just this journalist, activist, concerned citizen that was able to bring down a whole government corruption scandal in cahoots with a crooked operational procedure of the power structure. You know, the electric company. She basically went and she basically sued City Hall. You know, we've seen examples in the past, but maybe Lane's story is just too small for people to care about. But I totally agree. If they could do it to Lane, they could do it to any one of us. Not that all of us would react the way Lane has reacted to his circumstance. But yeah, lots of tools out there. He went to visit the Smurfs with a free Gaza sign and a MAGA hat, then goes to the city council meeting with the same red hat, pissing off the left. Then he blamed everyone but me for throwing rocks. Yeah, like Lane's got his own style and operational procedure that, again, I don't recommend unless you happen to be Lane Myers. Don't try that yourself. But it's still within his rights to do what he did. And the evidence of that is all the drop charges, which got replaced by these spurious allegations from Matt and Shannon Walker that somehow got him hemmed up to the point where he's facing years in prison. Like, it just boggles the mind. What Illuminate the Dark, you know, another Lane Liquor, shareholder, posted the other day was that, you know, the allegations were dropped on certain accounts, or allegations, only to be replaced with others, and he's still being held without bond. That was his last appearance in a secret court in some undisclosed location. So it's like, as valuable as those tools are to the government, are those same tools going to be satisfied with the clear and apparent bullshit that goes on with a YouTuber with 13,000 subs or whatever Lane has, talking about his own legal matters, which are public record, and somehow that gets twisted. The spellcasters, you know, Matt, Shannon, Rachel, Metcalf, they're all they're master spell weavers. They can cast the spells that do real damage, as we're seeing. Lane's a bit of a spellcaster himself, but as far as his wizardry skills, like, he's come up against some more powerful wizards, clearly. Lane has had a vendetta since yeah, it's baked into the cake. Like, Lane is not going to change. He can't change because that's just, it's a part of him. It's the constitution of Lane Myers is that you have to fight that sense of injustice he has to uphold everybody's rights collectively. So there is a bit of a martyr hero complex going on, which is fine. Like, it's these archetypes, they're everywhere. But that wizard archetype, he's run smack dab into the middle of that. So the hero, crusader, freedom fighter, martyr oftentimes is no match for the wizard. And so whether it's Matt Walker or Rachel Conover or others, well, case in point, how many times have we seen Lane show up to court after filing motions, after casting his own spells, only to hear Douglas Metcalf say, your spells are powerless, essentially. I didn't even, your spells didn't even impact me because I didn't read them, because I don't have to. And so that's one wizard telling another wizard, is like, your wizardry is no match for my wizardry. So they're kind of showing us the game very unapologetically. Like, there was no sense of shame when Douglas Metcalf, the Honorable Douglas Metcalf, I think that was the judge that was overseeing a lot of this. When Douglas Metcalf says, your spells have no power over me, like, you need to listen. You need to pay attention. And so having a vendetta is one thing. Being able to get the results you want, and Lane has gotten results. He's got case law in Michigan, right? Or that whole circuit. It went right up to the Supreme Court level. So there's case law in this very corner of basic citizens' rights that Lane has been successful with, and that's why I admire him. He has gotten results to some degree. Maybe the wizards in Michigan, Supreme Court, were susceptible to Lane's spellcasting, but it seems like the Pima County wizards have doubled down, and his spells are not falling with any kind of impact to do any kind of damage. He's going to prison, end up fighting charges by Elizabeth Burton Ortiz. For some reason, that name sounds familiar. He's on the Supreme Court task force, having meetings about changing 122H, right, which we all know about, while openly violating it. And it's a big fuck you to everyone. So yeah, that battle is still going on, apparently. I don't think I'm going to pick up that battle again. I've done streams and videos. I've done live streams on 122H, the court rules of procedure that they're trying to change, where they're requiring you to get permission to record court proceedings and hearings rather than notifying the court. So it's giving the government the ability to refuse your ability to get a record of what happens during any proceeding. But there's a new Supreme Court task force. Wonderful. So again, this is what the wizards do. Once you cast a spell, they come up with a contingency to nullify or negate your spell casting. So it's almost every offensive that you imagine in your mind, you're telegraphing your move to give them a counter offense. Now, I'm not saying just throw up your hands and give up, but that's essentially what's happening. Every time you mount an offense, they come up with a counter offense because they're more powerful wizards, and they literally have more power. Not just symbolically. I'm speaking a lot symbolically as far as this wizardry and spell casting, but some of it is like practical, tangible power. Lane doesn't have the power to throw these people behind bars, but they have the power to throw him behind bars. And what Mark is saying is prison might be in Lane's future, and I'd like to do my part to prevent that if possible. But at this point, I don't even know if that's possible. I'm still holding out hope that something can be done. If nothing can be done, nothing can be done. We have a short time, so yeah, that's the sad part. So if you're unfamiliar with Rule 122H, there's streams I did in the spring of 2025 going over the ins and outs of that. At one time, there was the ability to appeal that proposed rule change. So I'm not up to speed on where they are in that process, other than apparently a new Supreme Court task force has been assembled to look at the matter, but it doesn't look good. And so just by participating in the governmental process, you're almost giving them an avenue to show them how to fight you more effectively. Is that dirty? Of course. Is that going to change? Not anytime soon. Do I sound a little cynical? Of course. So I just think if there was a broader audience, if 1 million people heard about Lane Meyer's situation, if that would change anything. That's what I'm proposing. If we could get somebody with a big audience that's indifferent, that's dispassionate, that can be objective. It's like, love or hate Lane Myers. I don't like his sketchy beard. That hat's got to go. Those yoga pants, disgusting. You know, if you could put all that aside and just say, this is some dude in Arizona that pissed off the wrong people, and now he's being held without bond, facing prison for basically YouTubing. If people are okay with that, then I guess it tells us where we stand. But I think it's just a matter of getting his story out there. Lane's in particular. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of Lane Myerses out there going about auditing or government accountability, doing it in their own way and style. That are, you know, Chris Hendry, Eric Brandt is out now. It's probably only a matter of time before Brandt gets back on the horse and starts riding that horse again. We got, Chili DeCastro. He's still got his approach. I'm not saying Chili's doing it right. I'm not saying anybody's doing it right. Everybody's doing what they can do, what they feel they can do. Talk about the Midnight Rambler. The one you never seen before. Larata, Biscuits and Groovy, good to see you, good to see you. So yeah, there's only so much we can do, and long way to go, and a short time to get there, right? So at the risk of sounding biased, like, I think Christopher Ruff is reaping the rewards of his behavior. Lane Myers has pissed off the government and not really, I don't know, you'd have to bring an argument that he's caused anybody any actual harm. Whereas Chris Ruff, we can point to the bodies. We can point to his victims. And I think I could argue a case that Christopher Dane Ruff needs to be kept away from the rest of kind of society as a whole. Like, it would be in society's best interest to separate a Christopher Ruff from doing more damage to more individuals. With Lane Myers, could I play devil's advocate and make that argument? It'd be tougher. It'd be tougher. I'm not at that level of wizardry where I could twist the narrative in that way. So, but welcome as always. Good to see y'all. As I said, for whatever reason, my first stream got zapped. I think I just kind of lost my signal or something. I think the towers are on the other side of the RV. I might have had a signal block or whatever. The stream just shit the bed. And in that earlier brief stream, I basically said, this YouTube channel is basically my form of journaling. It's getting, rather than taking pen to paper and writing out my thoughts, I throw it out there, bounce it off you guys, interact with you guys, which is somewhat helpful. I think very helpful. And not just for the sake of coming out here and casting my own spells and bringing you under my influence and my ability to manipulate and grift. Having said that, there is a link to buy me a coffee because my coffee is almost empty. This channel is not yet monetized. That's the exact mentality of the Walker. Yeah, and I guess my frustration is I can see it, you can see it, lots of people can see what's going on, but still, when Lane gets into court and opens his mouth, so many people are not willing to see what we see. This is clearly a vendetta that certain individuals in places of power are executing against Lane personally, as an individual. But by all means, click on that Buy Me a Coffee link, which should be pinned in the chat. Yeah, there he is. Throw a few thousands of dollars my way so we can get this grift properly underway. But no, seriously, give, don't give. I'm still going to YouTube. But yeah, not monetized. I'm still wrestling with the idea of YouTube monetization. I think it might at some point turn into an actual business venture. But I also know what's required. Like I would have to do things I'm not willing to do just for the sake of integrity and principle that I know could get clicks and views, that could incite drama and conflict. But that's not what this YouTube channel was started for. It was to, again, do my video vlog. This is my form of journaling. This is how I process stuff. Maybe I should just keep it all to myself, but oh, BlackBerry cell phones. The government only damages. The best we can do is mitigate that. Yeah. Where I'm at though is like I wouldn't say I'm worn down, But it's just a matter of coming up with new ways to mitigate damage. Like why is that constantly need to be our strategy? It's like, oh, yet again, the government has come up with a new and novel way to punish us for existing. Still, I gotta get a little bit more in the shade. I wasn't aware that my lifelong task was gonna be defined by how to avoid being damaged by the government. Like it gets a little exhausting after a while, doesn't it? But whether it's being, subject to the propaganda or I'll finish that thought after I take a piss. So yeah, we're subject to the propaganda, the spell casting by the media or the influencers or what have you. Uh, the people let them under the guise of civility and a sense of protection. Yeah, sense of protection, appearance of protection. Whether it's being just looked upon by our overlords as tax cattle and a revenue source, harassment by the county assessor on your taxes or the state patrol as you're traveling up and down the highway, driving up and down the highway. Shaking you down because you don't have the right sticker on your license plate, or one of your headlights is burnt out, or turning that into just more fuel for the government engine to keep turning. And any number of examples. And so it's like maybe I just have arrived at a certain age where I'm exhausted from playing the game, from fighting off the wizards and the spellcasters. And I mean, there's kind of different content than what I've been typically doing, but it literally just occurred to me this morning that that's what's going on when I was watching the Shadowfinkel coverage of Rabbit and Scal trying to create, redirect, control the narrative in that whole swirl of events that's going on surrounding Lion One. But I did click on a video last night that was even the trigger prior to this morning stream, and it was the idea that money is a spell. Like I've come to the realization in the last half year, like money isn't real. It's a representation of something we could call value, and so money is just a token of value. It's really a representation of energy, human energy. So in any transaction, you're trading your energy for these things we call dollars. But those dollars aren't real. They're not a tangible asset. They're a representation. They're a figment of your imagination. But there's one video, it was a short video, like 10 minutes, 18 minutes or something, that kind of broke it down. It was probably AI content too. It might have been, I forget if it was AI. It could have been AI images and voiceover with an actual creator. It's kind of beside the point, but the idea that anytime you attach a price to something, like go to Facebook Marketplace now. I don't know if you sell on Facebook Marketplace or eBay or whatever. The moment you put a price on something, you just cast a spell. You turn an idea of value of something you have in your mind and you put a price on it and you blast it out there, and people seeing your spell can respond and say, the money that item represents, I'm willing to transact with you. And so pricing in any form, whether you're at the grocery store, at the gas pump, a price is a spell cast by a wizard in some sense. And so it just got me to thinking, it's like, how much are we casting spells we're not even aware of? Just with our words. And I'm not going to go into all this quantum grammar and language, and like, we still need to be able to communicate. But the idea of this spell casting, I've been familiar with it for several years now. But seeing money, because I've been thinking lately, like, money is just a resource, a tool, and even an accessory that you know it's all a part of our lives. Like, you can't live apart from the concept of money. But I looked at it, okay, it's a tool, a resource, an accessory. Either have lots or less, it's irrelevant. But the idea that money in itself is a spell, that was kind of a bit of a light bulb moment. And so think on that. Let me know what you believe money is. But the second you put a price on something, you just cast a spell. The moment you look at the price tag on something, you're the receiver of a spell, because somebody has created value in their imagination, put a number on it and a dollar sign in front of it, and that causes a reaction in you. Buy or don't buy. So I thought that was kind of useful to start thinking of money as an actual spell that's being cast. Money is the savior to many, not to be crass. But why is line one any different than any other untimely demise person? Well, man, I miss cigarettes. I feel you, bro. It was like a year and a half, well, just over a year ago, I started smoking again. And it's because I missed something. There was something so deep, I can't even explain it. I quit in 2001, I believe. So I hadn't smoked for almost 25 years. But in the last 5 years, there was such a longing, a hunger to smoke again. And I'm not encouraging anybody to take up smoking or retake up smoking if you quit. If you quit, you're probably better off not to. But smoking is something I need to do right now. Hopefully it's temporary. Hopefully I'll be able to ditch these things soon enough. But why is the lie in one case so special? Because it's surrounded by such a lie that we came across her story. We're familiar with her as an individual, not personally, but I do remember seeing her posting in Chili's chats. Sorry, I gotta wash my hair. It's all greasy. It looks like straw. Let's see if I can. It'll probably just stick straight out if I pull it out. It'll probably just hang there. See? Yeah, I gotta wash my hair. That's why I'm fiddling with it so much. So in real time, we were able to follow this story about Andrea Matthews and the apparent spellcasting slash lies that were being told surrounding the circumstances. So the untimely demise is unique in that it's close to home. It's a member of our community. Again, I didn't know Andrea Matthews well. I wouldn't call her an internet friend. She's even less than being a stranger on the internet, other than I've seen her handle in, I'm sure, Delete Laws live streams, Chili's live streams, possibly others. I wasn't too familiar with her, but I was familiar as well with the Benghazi Rabbit channel. Like I couldn't even tell you if there was any content on Andrea's channel prior to her demise, her killing is the way I'm gonna frame it. And that's not casting a spell, that's just the way I see it. I think she was killed. So that's what makes it different, is like, this is a member of our community and we're seeing the obvious, but somehow there's a narrative being, words are being cast, spells are being cast that tell a different story. And so the Benghazi Rabbit narrative, the William J. Barthel Jr. narrative, it just doesn't add up. Shit, there was another, okay, here's one for you. Okay. I was trying to fall asleep last night. For whatever reason, there was nothing on YouTube. I guess Todd had logged off for the day. There was a little short documentary about Christopher Walken. And why is he such a weirdo, kind of, was the gist of it. And like, why does he come across as such a dark persona? Or he's kind of out there, right? He's got this dark vibe, Christopher Walken, the actor. And part of his story, when he was coming up in the 70s, he was in a movie with Natalie Wood called Brainstorm, I think. And during the shooting of that movie, he was the lead actor, she was the lead actress. And so they had a working relationship, and Robert Wagner was Natalie Wood's husband at the time. So one weekend, Robert, Natalie, Christopher Walken, and this other guy, I think his name was Daniel, something or other, they were on Wagner's yacht. I don't know if it was off the coast of Florida or California. I guess Catalina Islands, that's California. But Wagner accused Christopher Walken of having a proper relationship with Natalie, his wife. Natalie and Robert ended up having a fight. And as a result, her body was found washed up in the water. And it was ruled as an accidental drowning. And so over time, people would ask Christopher Walken, like, what happened? He's like, I don't know. I was in my cabin sleeping. If something happened, you'd have to ask Natalie. And Robert Wagner, same thing. Like the facts speak for themselves. But as it turned out, once her body was recovered, and the initial narrative that she must have fallen overboard and drowned or something, it didn't line up with the fact that there was no water in her lungs, and then there were bruises on her body that likely didn't occur as a result of her falling overboard and drowning. So there's an example of a case where it didn't matter what the coroner's report was. The facts cast a load of different suspicion, and so the cause of death was changed to inexplicable circumstance. Now, there's some other details in that story, but I'm not blaming Christopher Walken. I'm not necessarily blaming Robert Wagner at this point. But there were facts that were highly suspicious in that at a certain point of time, Robert went to Daniel, the pilot of the yacht, and said, Natalie's missing. And Daniel said, well, we should get a searchlight into the water. And Natalie hated water. The narrative was that she got so mad that she jumped in the dinghy and tried to row to shore because reasons. And so Natalie was deathly afraid of dark water, deep water. And so for her to go in the middle of the night because she got into an altercation, an argument with her spouse, that is suspicious on its own. But when Daniel, the shipmaster, I think his name was Daniel, he said, well, let's put the spotlight in the water and see if we can find her. And Robert said, no, let's not do that. It's like, why would you not want to search for your wife with a spotlight? And then the suggestion came up, we need to get a hold of the Coast Guard. And Robert again said, no, we need to contact these other people. And so from the time that Robert declared Natalie was missing to the time that any call was made to some agency that could actually provide help and support, some hours had gone by. And so on the surface of it, it would appear that Natalie died and then was thrown overboard. How did she die? Again, maybe only Natalie knows. But highly suspicious. But there's an example where the narrative is one thing, the coroners wrote something on paper, but then actually had to change their assessment after further facts were uncovered. What we know for a fact is she didn't drown because there was no water in her lungs when her body was found. And Chris Walken ain't talking, and Robert Wagner ain't talking. But yeah, it's about exposing a bad faith scam church. I believe that Rabbit is a scammer. William J. Barthel, the Savage Saints, is an organization set up solely for grifting, scamming people. And it cost Andrea Matthews, Line 1, her life, being connected to William J. Barthel, who had a motive. He had a motive. She was connected to wealth in the form of land and whatever estate or wealth that had been a part of a Matthews family trust, which he thought he could access. So there is certainly motive. There's opportunity. And the means. He had the means to do it. So those three elements are present. He's a suspect. In my opinion. Those three elements are required. A motive, an opportunity, and the means to do it. He has all three. So just because the local sheriff's department associated with the Silver Pines community, or what was it called? Spruce Pines, North Carolina. Just because they didn't uncover anything doesn't mean there's no there. I say there's smoke. We're gonna expose the fire, and so this whole Savage Saints shit show. This is not the end of the story. For Andrea, those that knew her, that called her a part of their communities, which I consider her at least adjacent to communities I've participated in. And so that's the difference. That's what makes it important to me, because it does not seem like I was never part of the Benghazi Rabbits community. I don't want to be. I'm adjacent to that in that he's the central figure in question here. And somehow DirectD is involved. JJ Scarborough, a jailer who makes it a habit of supporting felons and other kind of unsavory characters, namely Michael Kaiser and others, that has a reputation for frivolous lawsuits and lawfare, i.e. Chris Ryder, the Amber Brown situation, his girlfriend, the jailer nurse that received, a 300% pay increase as a result of a decision he was empowered to make. So like there's just corruption surrounding JJ Scarborough and everything he's involved with. And then you get the Christopher Ruffs that somehow want to hitch their wagon to that, and the Michael Kaisers that get involved, and the William J. Barthels, and then the whole constellation of other players, whether it's Killamilla, Secret Savage Catfish. My new nickname for her is just Secret Liar at this point. Like, all she does is lie. Maybe a secret spellcaster, but she's not a very skilled wizard. At least Heather's cat is okay. Yes. Scal says Ruff's all stressed out. No cigs, no weed. Well, I don't think anybody's feeling sorry for you at this point. At least Heather's cat is okay. I'd like to think that if I got locked up in prison, cigarettes would no longer be an issue. It's like, okay, I guess we're quitting now. Line 1 isn't any more important than any other deceased person, but the reason why people are interested is because her situation is a learning experience. Oh, there's that. But I feel the connection is like, I know who she is. Like, she's just not this anonymous person. I know who William J. Barthel is. Like, I was familiar with both to some degree. And this story just happened right in front of me in real time. Like, contrast that with Nancy Guthrie. Didn't know her. Samantha Guthrie, don't really care. Like, that one doesn't affect me. I've seen that one real time, but I have no connection to any of those people. Nancy, wherever you are, this one's for you. Raise a glass to Nancy. But there's possibly a sense of justice that I'm hoping for in the Andrea Matthews matter. Does it make me a bad person because I don't care? Not at all. I mean, if it's not important to you, it's not important to you. Like, it doesn't have to be important to you. Didn't Lane attack Liberty Troll for nuisance streaming? I don't know. I was so surprised that that cat lived. Yeah. I just find it glorious that the cat is the one piece of the story that brought about the nasty one that was coming to Christopher Ruff. It was the cat. It was the cat. There's something just deliciously poetic and right about the fact that Christopher Ruff is sitting in prison because someone believed, a prosecutor believes, that Chris Ruff might have done something bad to a cat. I just love that. I love it. Quit smoking cigarettes, but now I smoke twice as much weed. Well, try meth. The kiddies always win. The cat had this under control the whole time. The cat, at no point was the cat stressed out over it. The cat knew. The cat knew that a nasty one was coming for Chris Ruff. The cat was just sitting back like, trust me, bro, I got this. So that part of it is tremendously satisfying. I had said the other day, you know, there's a degree of this whole thing resolving in an unsatisfactory manner, but the fact that the cat knew all along is I'll take this turkey down, no problem. My point about Lane attacking people and then boldly asking for support, I think he did that so you have to put personal difference aside and stand on business. Yeah, like Lane didn't need to attack all the people he attacked for whatever motivation he felt necessary. But yeah, it's not a shocker when it's tough to rally the YouTube community to support you when you've gone out of your way to piss enough of them off. Dang, we still tweaking? Yeah, well, we're just about to break out the meth. Not sure if you knew this, but Direct D bragged about stoning a skunk to death and then throwing the corpse at his friends. Justice for Skunky, yes. No, that lore, yeah, we don't bring that up enough. Kicking pregnant ladies. You know, it's not central to the story at hand, but it's more of that bad fruit I was talking about. It's like, put a 1 in the chat if you've kicked a pregnant lady. No, don't put a 1 in the chat. I don't. But it's like, I can't relate to that. I can't relate to Chris Ruff because of stoning skunks and chucking the carcass at your friends. I can't relate to kicking pregnant ladies. I can't relate to kidnapping people. Like, there's a different sense of morality and ethics going on there. It's like tweaker morality or something. It's just felonious, undignified tweaks. But yeah, we don't bring that up enough. You know, isn't that guy that, you know, it doesn't matter how old he was, because he's done a lot of stuff in his short life. Like that court page I was showing you. Like there's a whole list of shit there. Oh man, it doesn't allow me to go back. I'm gonna submit everything again. But there was a whole list of things that he's been involved in. And as far as his 1 loss record with the court system, like, it's not great. It's not great. I wouldn't suggest you attempt to follow his example of how to deal with the courts. Can honestly say, okay, doesn't sound like you're lying. Can honestly say I've never kicked a lady who was preggers. Brandon Mitchell, okay, you sound sincere. We tried to tell him, I think you're talking about Lane. It's like, yeah, it's like, Lane, you don't have to go out of your way to antagonize people that could possibly be a resource to assist you in like, do we need to be fighting amongst each other? Like, I get it. The people he's attacked, maybe they need to stand on principle, but there's a danger of setting such a high bar for principled behavior that you alienate everybody. He must be frustrated not to be able to threaten anyone. Yeah, all he's got going for him now is the ability to show off his tush and brag about his boofing abilities. I mean, I don't know. I would wager there's some boofing going on. I may have kicked my sister a few times, but she was punching me in the face. I was talking about the EO debate. You were he's just being a visionary. I'm just trying to go back. Yeah, well, there's two things. Again, standing on business, that's the Lane situation. Standing on business to Lane means something different than, say, to Liberty Troll or Lackluster or James Freeman or others he's attacked openly that may or may not have been a resource just relationally. Like there's this idea of the different forms of capital. When we think of capital, it means more than just money and tangible assets like real estate or businesses. You know, that's financial capital. Your skills and abilities are a form of capital. Your relationships are a form of capital. Your emotional makeup can be a form of capital. Your intelligence is a form of capital. There's all these different categories that fall under the banner of capital. It's more than just equipment. Tools are a form of capital. From a hand tool right up to a excavator or bulldozer, like that's a tangible form of capital. But it's like some of these other things, your emotional intelligence, your intellectual intelligence, you know, your IQ, your people skills, your language and communication abilities, you know, your vocabulary can be a form of capital. If you know how to communicate well, that's a form of capital. And so Lane has taken what could be assets in his portfolio and eliminated them, and so he's cut off a lot of that relational capital. So that's somewhat of a criticism I have, is like, you don't need to just attack people for the sake of attacking them. Look at them as best you can as operating in good faith and being an ally. They can be a resource to you. With the debate teaming up with the Savage, I don't know what EO debate is. That the Orthodox? The Orthodoxers are teaming up with the Savage Demons now. Yeah, that's going to be tweaky and weird. Where are we going to turn? I called this tweaker crash out like 2 years ago. Well, yeah, the crash out has been like what, are we in season 9 or 10? Like, for whatever period DirectD is going to be behind bars, like there's going to be more. Like the tweaks may slow down, but I think D's well runs pretty deep. So you might just have to be patient, but there will be more tweaks in the future, in our future. The crash out again it's kind of not what we expected, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Oh, the Eastern Orthodox, yeah. If Savage Saints somehow becomes Eastern Orthodox, again, I'm counting on the fact that Todd is going to join with possibly the Greek Orthodox branch of the Orthodox Church, and so there will be infighting within infighting there. So that's going to be all nice and tweaky. It's not terribly captivating to me. Again, that religious infighting, it's been going on for a long time. But yeah, I think this is one in possibly a series of crash outs. So there will be more. There will be more. It's like this isn't the end. This isn't the end of Christopher Ruff. Like, we've got new tweakers showing up from Hawaii. We've got, I mean, he's probably on Facebook dating as we speak. Because you know that we know that he knows that they know that he can get a butt phone in there. So he's on Facebook dating as we speak. It's the first domino, but definitely not the last. Didn't see this coming the way it was coming. No, it's again, we're sitting back. We're kind of in observer state. It's almost like I'm not emotionally involved in this. I'm kind of looking back, looking at this as a dispassionate observer. It's like, you were told, like, this is, it's not because I told you so or I need to be right. It's like, you just see the way you carry yourself, and this is the inevitable conclusion of the matter. Again, it's not the final episode, but in a series of crash outs, this is a fairly justified one. Let's call it that. Like, this needed to happen. It was gonna happen, and it needed to happen, and it's happening. So we're allowing ourselves a little bit of enjoyment at what Ruff is getting what to him. Is it tweaky? Of course, yeah. I think I already converted him to a Baptist or Pentecostal. Yeah, I hesitate to speak on Todd's faith, other than I'm not seeing that fruit that I believe the Lord told us to watch for. You'll know them by their fruits. The fruit that I'm seeing from Todd Bryant, and it's not fruit from the tree of life. It's some other kind of fruit. It's pretty fruity. Let's put it that way. SBG, Obama Gumpet in here. Running from warrants and openly bragging about it, definitely not helping the flight risk status. Yeah, to anybody that may think about contributing to Christopher Ruff's bond or his fundraising attempt, or has contributed, this is a man who's known to defy warrants and appearances repeatedly. Like, his track record is this is what he does. So there will most likely be failures to appear if he should be released. So probably the best thing, the best investment, is to hold on to your money and let him have his day in court. Because again, if he bonds out, well, let's just imagine the storyline, the next story arc. He bonds out of jail. Do you think he's gonna stand and answer for his crimes voluntarily, or is he gone? Is he gone? Is he gone to stone the next skunk and kick the next pregnant lady and kidnap the next tweaker? Or is he gonna be Mr. Oh, I need to answer for my behavior. No, keep your money. My advice to you is keep your money. That GoFundMe, just delete that off your history. You don't need to worry about Christopher Ruff's GoFundMe that was set up by Amanda. Just get that out of your search history. He might get a bond reduction. Well, someone had said there was a bond reduction. I don't know if that has to be part of a hearing or whether that's up to the judge or the prosecutor. Well, I guess it would be up to the judge, but a bond reduction, I don't see that on the docket. When will the Scals give up on the 14K? 1 week, 1 month, 2 months? Well, Ruff's got an appearance Monday. So I guess if he's not bonded out by Monday, which it doesn't look like he will be, unless JJ Scarborough ponies up the money to get his business partner out. Again, JJ, DirectD is your business partner. Chris Ruff is your business partner. Come on, man. Come on, man. I guess we'll see Monday. Like if if the hearing on Monday is unfavorable to Chris Ruff getting his release, then yeah, he would. I think his supporters would let him sit in jail for a week, a whole month. I think after a month, Desert Scal and Amanda, they're gonna take whatever they can and head to Tijuana. That's just my feeling. He thinks he's stronger than the system. Well, he is a Peckerwood after all. I think he filed a motion about it because that charge was reduced. Yeah, but his priors, and as Val said earlier, there's enhancements that the prosecutor is willing to employ based on his past behavior, his past record. I mean, he's a felon, for crying out loud. So. He's a felonious tweaker. And so, yeah, I would say within a month. I would say they could, I'd say the Scals could deal with another week. But by the end of, so if we start the timer at Monday, August 3rd, Chris's court hearing, by August 10th, they'll start getting nervous. By August 17th, you know, the following week, they'll start talking about, it's like, yeah, let's just dip. Let's just dip on this guy. They will live there free as long as they can. Well, how long can they live there, though? Is the question. How long could you live at the foot of Diaper Mountain on a pile of rocks with a bunch of hungry goats, with a broken-legged desert Jim Carrey and a tweaker from Hawaii? Like, how long do you think they could actually keep it up and maintain that place before the county just comes and does a tax sale on the place? I mean, like, come on. When do they have to have their property taxes paid in Arizona? You think Desert Jim Carrey and Hawaiian Tweaker, the boob flasher, you think they'd be able to cover the property taxes after she puts her house up for collateral to bond out the idiot? And it probably won't work. Like I don't think, I don't see this working out. I think she's probably, Amanda I'm talking about now. I think if she puts out her house up for collateral, she's going to end up losing it. And that's whether Rough actually bonds out or not. Another sidewalk bendy in the next 2 to 5 years. Who's wearing a purple moo? Oh, the Amanda. If you don't get out, the animals will start dying in a week or two. Yeah. He don't own it. Yeah, that's we've kind of concluded that. As much as he likes to cast a spell that I'm a landowner, I got 37 acres here. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Nobody believes that he owns it. They did it this long. It's even better without him. Taxes are probably cheap. Yeah, I still don't think they have a pot to piss in. Bao, what is a true friend in Asian voodoo? I'm having a hard time downloading that Scal stream. The video is so large. She's a drifter. She could get more people to come and stay and pay her rent. Yeah, I don't know. I imagine the local bylaws are pretty laxed in Apache County, where you might be able to set up a compound of drifters and people, but like, who's he going to attract? People like Twiggy that don't have $3 to their name? Like Michael Wyatt going to go live there? Like who's gonna do the heavy lifting at Dookie Ranch if Dookie's not there? Like, no, they're all a bunch of brokies. Like they it's not like there's anybody that has any means or resource is going to be attracted to go live in the desert in the middle of nowhere with a couple of disgusting skanks. It's like that. Like let's spin this in the best way possible. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt that somehow we could rally people towards Christopher Ruff's cause. What do we have to offer? We've got 37 acres of rocks here. There's animal chores to do. We don't have running water, but there is a solar powered system that works when everything is operating properly. But Chris is really the only one who knows how to manage the battery bank and the charge controller, and the charge controller actually just the motherboard just fried on it the other day, so we're gonna have to replace it. So there's no power here. There's no running water there. You can poop in that bucket over there. There's room to bring your travel trailer amidst the fleet of vehicles in various degrees of disrepair. The neighbor, if you need to take a bath, you can go to the neighbors, I guess. But then we've got 50-year-old desert Jim Carrey with her saggy boobs. And then we've got Hawaiian tweaker in the purple moo. And so we've all got this one shared accommodation. So if you do need to have air conditioning and shelter, we've got this 12 by 10 shed where the kitchen and the bed and the studio and the couch are all in the same living space. Be careful, don't bump into that load-bearing support post. I mean, I don't know that you're going to attract a ton of people that are going to be on board to rally to save the tweaker. I think it's like, yeah, I think we'll just have to give the Laratas this crash out, and we'll regroup after Ruff has done his time, and we'll live to fight another day. A big meth flop house. Yeah, like that's going to be more of a like bringing people to that ranch in Arizona. That's going to be more of a liability. every additional person that comes through there is going to do more damage than good. So if JJ doesn't kind of white knight Ruff at this point, I don't think any of Ruff's audience or supporters or people that somehow think living in the desert with Desert Gnome and Hawaiian meth girl, the meth kidnapper, it sounds like a real bad life decision to say, we can do this. Here's a cause that I could throw my resource behind. I don't think anybody's going to Apache County. It just, no, I'm not seeing it. So going back to my original premise, August 3rd, we've got a hearing. It's probably not going to go well for Ruff. He's probably going to be sent back into the jail. Give it a week. Their spirits will still be, let's rally behind this butt boofing tweaker. We can do this. But give it 2 weeks. I think the tone will really shift. You'll see the tone shift among the Savage Saints camp because Barthel has got court date on Monday as well. So the tone, the nature of the spellcraft is going to change quickly, rather quickly. I know it doesn't make sense to people who think normally, but have you seen his chat? They do and say that shit normal people would never consider. Yeah, but that's the point. It's like those people they're either bots or brain dead, and they don't have anything to offer anyway. So every one of those chat tweakers that would show up in Arizona at Dookie Ranch, they're just gonna perpetuate the cascade effect of his demise in this season. You know, season 10 and 11, I mean, that's it could be a whole different story arc, right? Season 10 and 11, it might be all male roommates at Dookie Ranch. Some good friends that Dookie has made in jail. Like, there might be 5 guys living in that shed. 5 dudes. 5 Peckerwoods. She said she needs 14,000 for a happy ending. Yeah, you ain't getting a happy ending. You're gonna get a nasty one if you follow through with this doomed crusade that you're on. I'm sure the public defender will counter tweak all this. We need Mitch to be a character witness in the coming tweak trials. Where is Mitch? Mitch Lovin. I tried the old Beetlejuice thing, see if he shows up. Mitch Lovin. Come on, everybody. To be a character witness, yeah, that could go any direction, right? That would be good YouTube tweaks. I'd watch that. Can donate an old phone. There you go. Yeah, I haven't seen a peep from Mitch in quite some time. So I think Mitch definitely has something to offer us as consumers of the tweak content. In regards to the fact that he could make this even better for us and worse for Chris. So I'm down for that. That sounds juicy. That I could sink my teeth into that. I got all my real teeth, and I'm like 50. I'm in my 50s, so actually I'm gonna lose a tooth. I got a loose tooth, but not from meth. Because it's from crooked dentist who broke a tooth. Mitch would fester their festers all day, all day, every day. Shit, I'd stay up for that all day, all night. Absolutely. Mitch, if you're out there, your festers are needed at this time. Mitch Lovin, please report to customer service. Mitch Lovin. But yeah, that's about all I got. Is we've festered quite enough here. I'm sure there's other more interesting festers going on YouTube here. I was gonna spark up this fire again, maybe do a fish fry or something. I got some pickerel fillets that need to be used up. Some other shit I need to heat up before it goes bad. But yeah, kind of the whole motivation for this stream is just to be wary of the spells that are being cast, because the Savage Saints just seems to be a bunch of low-grade wizards. I mean, Coated Friend, Muckster, Killamilla, Kfar, Boot. I mean, their spells just fall to the ground, right? They don't carry any weight. They don't provide any punch. Scowl, see, Savage Scowl, and Christopher Ruff, William J. Bartell. They're slightly more skilled as wizards, but still nowhere near the level of the people that they're trying to bring under their spell. Like they think their spells are powerful, but they're not. And so I mean, I don't have to explain this to Larata. From what I've seen of the Larata chat gang, and from what I understand, it all started in the chats by the chatters saying Larata in the chats. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like that. Larata itself is almost like a counter spell, right? So handle that power responsibly. Not everybody can take up the name of Larata, because if you use Larata in vain, you've got a nasty one coming. But just that phrase in itself, Larata, is virtually all you need as a counter spell to all these inferior spellcasters and wizards. So that doesn't make us all wizards, but we're all able to invoke that phrase, Larata, and that will the results speak for themselves. Is all I'm going to say there. So there we go. I like to imagine he's playing frisbee golf somewhere in Ireland. Yes. Maybe him and Rosie O'Donnell are in Ireland right now playing frisbee golf. Well, if it's Rosie O'Donnell, they're probably an all-you-can-eat buffet. I don't know. It's a cantrip. But yeah, the various incantations and the grimoires that Secret Scowl employs, and like she's the master. I've used examples where I don't work for the Savage Saints. Well, okay, you're using grammar in an unauthorized way in an attempt to cast felonious tweak spells. We're not falling for it. We Larata, you're bullshit. We fester, you're fester. There's a lot of socks too. Sometimes hard to tell if it's impostorata. Yeah, yeah. But from what I've observed through the Smurf Watch transparency and Clash with Bow community and people that have kind of gathered, it seems I'm inheriting a little bit of that audience. It wasn't intended, but here we are. The people that are commenting right now. I don't know if there's any lurkers or felonious Socula accounts that are attempting to participate, but it's like once you've been given that Larata DNA, you can't fall for their spells, sock or no sock. And so that's just my feeling on it. A cantrip doesn't take up a spell or cost to use. I'm gonna have to look up cantrip. I'm not familiar with that phrase. I'm not familiar with that reference. Let me just get a gist of what you mean by cantrip. A small, simple magic spell, a mischievous trick, or a card that replaces itself when played. Oh, it's a Scottish term. Oh, it's part of the Magic the Gathering lore. It's a low-level spell. You can cast these, so it's kind of tabletop gaming, and it could be a witch's trick, a bit of a sham. Possibly comes from the Gaelic term cantarícht, a piper's mnemonic chant. yeah, I'd see that in play. Like that would be Killamilla. Take that, Ryder. That would be a cantrip. Ryder, you idiot. Ryder, you're going to jail. Well, that would be a cantrip. Oh, I learned something today. Thank you, Stoffel, for bringing a new terminology to my understanding. Scal said Ruff is in a medical unit. Withdrawals. Withdrawals? Like what? From the marijuanas? He's got marijuana's withdrawals? Hey, Jody, welcome in. Welcome. There's a specific unspoken spell to locate the real Laratas. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything to use. So yeah, saying, take that, Ryder, that doesn't cost anything, right? It's a throwaway spell. But when you're trying to convince someone, an audience like Secret Scow, I have no connection to the Savage Saints. That's a StreamYard thing. I have no control over. When clearly you don't either knowingly are deceiving us. That's not how StreamYards works. You can put whatever badge or banner you want. You can change it at will. You are Savage Saints. You are associated. You are connected. You are operating under the authority of that spell. Savage Saints is a spell. That's funny. Withdrawals in the medical unit. I just pretend they're all Aiden, Tiffany, or Q the audit. There you go. Fenty withdrawals. +5 cantrip spells are simple beginner level magic tricks that characters can cast an unlimited number of times without using up valuable spell slots. They scale in power. Now this is technical Dungeons and Dragons stuff that Stoffel is sharing, but but again, the root of it does go back to Wiccan and those kind of occultic roots of spell casting, a magic spell. At least the Gaelic or the Scots were the first to coin the term. So yeah, it's sort of like these. Like an example of that would be, who's restreaming me? That's a throwaway spell. That's just a fun one. It doesn't cost anything. Doesn't really impact much. It's that's somewhat of a cantrip. Who's restreaming me? It's not intended to cause harm. It's just there. It's just out there. It's just another combination of sounds formed into words that you have to process. Why would someone who isn't religious join a religious non-profit? We'd have to ask Secret Liar. That's been asked many a time. But again, she has a spell for that. There's a spell. There's an app for that. There's a spell for that. So again, the spells she attempts to employ are these low-level reframing the narrative, creating a narrative, debunking narratives. It's not terribly effective, except to the most imbecilic among us. I'm looking at you, Deb Anderson. I'm looking at you, Twiggy. I'm looking at you, Concerned Citizen. It's simple and effective, can be used a lot. Yeah. I'm not claiming it's not effective, but who's restreaming me? It's effective for a limited scope, if that's a correct way to frame it. But yeah, why is this person so enamored with Rabbit, aka Barthel? And that was the kind of crux of what the Q the Audit Bow stream, the Bow interview with Secret Scow. Bow was trying to get to the heart of the matter. It's like you heard the story, it's a good story. You didn't find any of it sketch or sus, but something about Billy caused you to be joined in this meaningful way, and now you're ride or die. You're not religious. You're clearly a God hater. In that interview, it didn't come down to the spell casting, but I'm just calling it out for what it is. She was casting spells all along. I wasn't calling it spell casting at the time. I'm calling it out now as spell casting. But there you go. My old weed crew all had color names like that movie. They were D&D nerds. But yeah, Brandon Mitchell, why would someone who isn't religious join this organization? Why? Well, I guess you can make the case that it's not a religious organization. It's using a religious label in order to scam and manipulate well-meaning people that are willing to hear the spells you're casting and believe that giving money is going to get a certain X result. Meanwhile, the truth is way over somewhere else. Tweaker DV got hit with the anchovies, no sauce, Larata spell. Did anyone notice that Ruff's Gifts and Give and Go, Gifts and Go has a prayer option? That makes me, I did not notice. So you can speak an incantation over Chris Ruff as we speak. Let's pull that up. Just let's see. Read more. Oh yeah. Well, that might be standard, but there's a pray button over here. Send an encouraging message or prayer to the fundraiser owner. Let them know you are praying for them. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. James 5:16. Get wrecked, Tweaker. Can I send that prayer? I think we all, if you're gonna send a prayer to Ruff's Give Send Go, Get Wrecked Tweaker is an appropriate one. That will be sent to Amanda. She's the, or I guess the YouTube family is the creator of the account. But they could pass on the prayer to Ruff. So Get Wrecked Tweaker. That would be, if you're gonna click on that pray button, it'll take you to this screen. So right here in this box, you'd write Get Wrecked Tweaker. Well, you don't have to do anything I say. Just... That's there you go. Leave a little prayer from Larata. You got to put it in your email. If I do, I'll have to use a Proton. Yeah, you gotta give them. Well, I guess a sock account could probably work there. GSG is faith-based, but she used it because GFM. Is it GSG or DSD? GSG is faith-based. What is? Help me with GSG. But she used it because GFM will know it's a scam. GoFundMe. Give Send Go is faith-based. Oh, okay. Make sure you fix your privacy settings on Give Send Go. Yeah, the chatters know what to do. The chatters always know. The chatters have always got things under control. But yeah, I think I'm ready for lunch here. It's almost 2:30. Possibly might. So Saturday afternoon. Might take off to parts closer to fishing creeks and the like, and do some fishing tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see how the weather plays out. Supposed to get some rain on Monday, but I think tomorrow I might take off in the afternoon, head south, spend an overnight, do some fishing, some tenting, and possibly some tweak streaming. But we'd possibly do some live brook trouting. It's not live catfishing, live brook trouting. You guys got to see this action. Hot and heavy. The bite is always on. So I look forward to providing you with that engaging content where we won't have to think about tweakers or goat ranches or Hawaiian meth heads or 50-year-old tweakers in the desert with no teeth, or all that shit. All these wizards, they can all go fuck themselves. That's my spell. All you low-level wizards, get wrecked, go fuck yourself, and stay tweaky. Wait, that's my line. Yeah, we'll call it a day. We'll call it a day. So I encourage you to go off, find some other wholesome tweaks throughout this glorious day. Beautiful day out here. I'm gonna go find something to do. So thanks for coming. Thanks for leaving. Stay tweaky.